So a couple of weeks ago, someone in our Facebook group asked me if I knew any ways to do an AI analysis on some customer sentiment data. And at the time, I was thinking it was probably a job for like a Google Sheets ad on like numerous.ai or something like that. And then, obviously ChatGPT is getting updated all the time. So you can see this is now an August version. And I came across a couple of videos on the weekend about one of the new features, which is called Code Interpreter. Now, before you switch off and think that's only for developers, which is what I almost did, if you go to settings and beta and then into beta features and just make sure that your code interpreter is turned on and then come back. Because what code interpreter will do is not only does it debug code and all those, really super nerdy things, but it also does some spreadsheet analysis, which I had a bit of fun with on the weekend. So I wondered if it could do some customer sentiment analysis. And what I had ChatGPT do was generate a file with some dummy data. So here is my dummy data. It's just generated some pretend names, some pretend property types, some feedback, and a rating out of 10. Now, I wouldn't be uploading anything identifiable or not into ChatGPT. But, if you wanted to sort of not upload names or something like that and just property types and feedback and ratings and things like that, it's probably not a bad way to analyze sentiment. So I'm going to upload this file. So you can see now with Code Interpreter turned on, I get this option to upload a file. And I'll just wait for it's uploaded now. And I'm just going to hit return. I probably could have put a message in, but ChatGPT says, I see you've uploaded a file named Customer Sat for AI Powered. How can I assist you with it? I'm just going to say, I would like you to tell me about the levels of customer satisfaction with my service. And I'll just hit enter and see what happens. So ChatGPT is going to examine the contents of the file and, we can show it working, but what it's doing is it's actually writing some Python code to analyze what's in the spreadsheet. So it's come back and it's told me, okay, you've got 4 columns. You've got a customer name, you've got a property type, you've got feedback, and you've got a rating out of 10. Super. So to determine the levels of customer satisfaction, I'll begin by analyzing the rating out of 10, and we can look at the mean, median, mode, and distribution. So statistically, what it is I've got. All of your old high school statistics kind of ratings. So there's a varied range of customer satisfaction levels. Would you like to explore any aspects or perhaps analyze the textual feedback? Always say please and thank you to the robots. I'm going to say yes, please. To gain a deeper understanding of the reasons behind the ratings. Okay, so let's begin by examining the feedback that are below the median, so less than 6. This will help us understand the concerns. Okay. Rating of 4, routine inspections feel too intrusive and too frequent. Rating of 5. I guess what ChatGPT is doing here, okay, some common themes emerge. So it's actually distilling these down for me. There's communication issues. There's maintenance and repair delays. There's issues with bond money. And some problems with routine inspections. My favorite. I'll come back to that in a second. But now, what we could do is we could ask it to graph our results. So could you please give me a graph of the number of customers versus rating? Let's see what it does there. Okay, there we go. It's given me a nice graph to show me the distribution. We can see there's, looks like our head's on fire and our feet are in a bucket of ice and doesn't even out to a comfortable body temperature. So that's something else that you can do is you can ask it to graph your results. I'm going to go back here because, it's saying some common themes emerge. Actually, okay, one more question before we go. So what were the things our highly satisfied customers said we did right? Okay, so let's have a look at 8 or higher. This is all pretty good. Remembering that this is dummy data. This is not data from anywhere. Okay, so maintenance, number 1 thing that people appreciate. Number 2, clear communication. Number 3, online portals. Nice. Number 4, routine inspections. Well, there you go. Like swings and roundabouts. But I mean, what can you expect with dummy data? But let's take up, some of the areas where we have a problem, because that's why we get feedback, is so that we can make ourselves better. And I think there's another post on that. But okay, so let's deal with this routine inspections. I've always thought that routine inspections has a bit of a branding problem, particularly as a tenant. Feels like you're being inspected. I mean, I get both sides of it, but I get why it has to happen. But I just think that's a bit of a branding problem. Meaning, could you make the name of it different? Or could you make the process different so it's still a win-win, but not a source of conflict, let's say? So I am going to say, please suggest 10 ideas for making the routine inspection process less, what was the words? Routine inspections, too frequent and intrusive, less frequent and less intrusive, but still enabling the tenant to have maintenance issues looked at, and for the owner or landlord to feel comfortable their property is being maintained to a high standard. Okay, number 1, virtual inspections. So yeah, that's an interesting one, because that happened during the pandemic. And yeah, if you could give someone a view of the property, scheduled maintenance, self-reporting platforms, upload some photos. I mean, there's some good ideas here. And so, this is like the outside the box thinking. But again, like another prompt that I'd probably go with, just my experience as a tenant, I've always thought that this has a perception problem, or this has a branding problem, because, as I said, it makes you feel like you're being inspected. So let's just go with another follow-up prompt, which might be, I want you to act as a marketing or branding manager. Could you give me 10 alternate names for the process of routine inspections that show more of a win-win for both the tenant, the property owner, and the property manager? Okay, see what it comes up with. Property care review. I like it. Home health check. Collaborative care audit. Residents wellness review. Yeah, it's probably not. I mean, everyone's got their journey to wellness at the moment. Why not a property as well? Mutual maintenance meet. I mean, these are all much, much better. But, a quality, I think, use of ChatGPT here to be able to quickly analyze not only sentiment, but then to get some ideas on how to improve things. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you tomorrow.